extreme power. Why are muzzle-loading guns still used? Duelists then made 15 more steps. Practical shooting of the 19th century. It was simple enough to be manufactured on one's own. Hard targets and myths exposed. .69 caliber, that's right, and a unique experiment. An old musket and a modern carbine versus a cuirass and a steel helmet. For this test, we need a modern steel helmet. Let's find out if it's capable of stopping a musket bullet. But first, we will shoot it with a more powerful charge. This is a modern carbine based on the Kalashnikov assault rifle. Look, the carbine bullet penetrated the front part of the helmet easily, but the second barrier stopped the bullet. It lost shape and ricocheted downwards. The watermelon on which we put the helmet is slightly injured. But what will happen if we make the same shot with a musket?
Actually, I knew that the result of the shot at the helmet would be just the same with the shot at the cuirass.
Although modern steel and more advanced quenching technologies could let us get a shallow penetration, not such a huge breach. You can see the difference with the naked eye. The .69 caliber bullet, 17.5 millimeter, breaks the front part of the helmet. After the impact, it ricochets and the bullet goes downwards. Due to it, the back part of the helmet remains undamaged, but the most part of the shot monstrous energy is directed to the watermelon, and it's just blown up. Here we are. You can see at once that the musket is a killing machine. The difference is plain to see. The bullet had enough energy to stop the horse at full tilt. This weapon was a serious problem for the cavalry. Well, let's see its other qualities. We continue our historical weapons research at this pistol club. Our accuracy and power tests have proved that muzzle-loading weapons can compete with many modern weapon systems, and they can even be better in some aspects. The most interesting tests are coming up next. We'll see how old weapons cope with fruit and what damage they can inflict on an ordinary gelatin box. We have already seen that the muzzle-loading weapon can hit solid surface well. But what happens when the bullet penetrates soft tissue? We have some ballistic gel here, and we will shoot at it. Ordinary gelatin or ballistic gel is the elastic polymer substance which imitates human or animal body soft tissue. Let's see what the dueling pistol bullet can do to it. The dueling pistol bullet penetrates the gelatin easily, leaving an even wound canal. Now, let's repeat the test with a model 1812 musket. The musket bullet caliber is 5.5 millimeters more than the dueling pistol bullet, and you can easily see it. The wound canal after the musket shot is much broader. You can see the penetrating depth of the wound canal made by the bullet. I mean, it's obvious that the larger the caliber is, the more energy is applied. Now let's measure the wound canal depth. It's 4.5 centimeters. It's a half of the canal made by the bullet in the gelatin box. The second half is 4.9 centimeters. That makes about 10 centimeters in total. Just look at it. That's really unbelievable. But how will the musket bullet behave in a different substance? Water, for example. That's a typical test, but it's really interesting, especially when you have a chance to look at the bullet hitting the bottle in slow motion. Just look, the bullet hits the bottom of the bottle with water. In a split second, it goes through the water and keeps moving forward. And what happens next is really hard to explain. The vacuum created by the bullet pulls the sides of the bottle together, and its volume grows smaller. The pressure grows immediately, and water goes out through the bullet hole. and the water flush turns the bottle into a missile. Even at distance, that small amount of water that rushed from the bottle still was impressive. Well, we continue studying muzzle loading weapons features and characteristics. Now, let's shoot some fruit. We start with the dueling pistol. Let's see what the pistol bullet can do to the melon. Actually, the melon resembles the water bottle. Lots of watery pulp in a solid cover. The pistol bullet hits the center of the melon and goes right through it. But the effect it makes can hardly be compared to the water bottle test. Now we will repeat the test with a heavy musket bullet. It hits the melon a bit lower, but the result of the shot is much more dramatic. The melon is blown up. The lead ball is out of the melon already, but the energy it has passed onto it is still crushing the soft fruit flesh. We can see a strong hydrodynamic impact. It destructs the target completely. The strike is massive and spectacular. Nowadays, muzzle-loading guns are no longer used in combat, but its beauty and power are still surprising.